This is the noob, and in this video I'm just going over setting up RCBasic in Windows. So first thing we're going to do is go to uh, download RCBasic. You can get to it just by going to the itch.io link. I'm going to go to the website and just click on downloads, and it'll take you to the itch.io page. The itch.io page. And then from here, we're just going to download uh, uh, version 3.21. Um, for most people, I would just recommend the 64-bit. But if you know you have a 32-bit CPU, I do provide a 32 build there for it. But yeah, if you have a computer from like the last decade or so, you probably have a 64-bit. So just go ahead and just download 64-bit. Alright, and once we do that, let's close this, and I already have it downloaded. It's here in my documents. So we're just going to extract it. Extract all. Yep. Yeah, it's extracting. Alright, this shouldn't hopefully take too long. I will probably do a cut to when this is finished. So I'll be back.
2 hours later.
Okay, we're back, and the folder's extracted now. So now all we need to do is find some place to put the folder. And because just to make it easy, I'm just gonna stick it on the desktop. So yeah, now it's pretty much installed. We can go in here now, and you'll have a RCBasic underscore release folder in there. Go in there, and then you have RCBasic Studio right here. This is really all you need to do to start up RCBasic Studio if you just want the default editor. So I'm going to go over this real quick, and then I'm going to go over how to use the Geany uh, the Geany files, set it up with Geany, which will probably involve another cut because I don't think I have Geany installed. But let's do this first. So start up RCBasic Studio. Just go to more info and click run anyway if this pops up. And now we have RCBasic Studio running. And to to test it, you can just open up one of the existing projects first. So we'll go into RCBasic Release, go into examples, and we'll just select the simple platform game demo and open that up, and then run it. Yeah, and we see that it's working. Everything seems to be working just fine. So escape to close this. And now we'll close this, and I'll go over building a new project real quick. So let's go to new project, and we'll name our project test, and project location. We'll just put it in on the desktop. And our main file, I'm just going to call it main.bas. I think that's just a, a good default name if you don't have something specific you want to name it. And hit OK. And now we have our test project. And I don't know if it's going to happen here. Let's try it. So yeah, we have hello world. Sometimes I've noticed that a bug happens though, and it was mentioned on the forum, where if you try to run it from the get-go in your project, it'll say down here couldn't load program or something like that. If that's the case, just right-click close project, and then just reopen your project from here, and when you open it back up, it tends to just work. But yeah, that's just the basics of setting up a project. Other things, real quick, before I close RCBasic Studio, just to go over it. Uh, if you wanted to change to the dark theme, you can go up to View, go down to Change Color Scheme, and just switch to dark. I know most people would probably rather have the dark theme, so that's how you would do that. And a few other things. If you're having issues where maybe the editor is crashing a lot on your system, you can go here, go to Preferences, and uncheck this, and then hit OK and restart it. And then that'll disable the parser that goes through and checks for symbols, like this stuff here. But it usually does make it more stable on some systems since that runs in a separate thread and stuff. So, but you'd have to close it and restart it for that to take effect. Um, and then this stuff, a little bit. I mean, this is your project properties. I know this window's like this by default because I needed to have it the same size on every system. But yeah, you can add files here. You can go to file properties for it here, which is just whether like it saves it in the project as an absolute relative directory. And uh, this set as sub-target is if you're trying to build. I mean, don't worry about it unless you're really just trying to do some like make some advanced tool or something. But you can have it build a CBC file from multiple of your .bas files rather than build just one CBC file for your main file, which the CBC file is your RCBasic program itself, which I'll go over with the Geany stuff. So I think that's about all I needed to cover in RCBasic Studio. So oh yeah, and you can go to help and get click on RCBasic documentation to access the documentation real quick and stuff. And this I'll go over in maybe another video, but this is specific to like if you wanted to generate um, a key for an Android app and to distribute for different platforms, you'd go here, fill in what the category is, which is only useful on Linux, and then select an icon here, which if you want just the RC Basic icon, you could just go into your release folder, go into GFX, and yeah, select that. And generally, if you're making a command line tool or something, or you're using print or input or something, just enable terminal, and then the directory where you want to output your project at to. So we'll output it to desktop, um, and make a new folder, like RC out, and save it there. And then you can select the platforms you want to build for. I will go over web and Android and how to set up for those two in a separate video. But yeah, out of the box you can build for these. And then, save settings and then just make app. And it failed to create the, oh yeah, the 64-bit Linux app. You're not going to be able to output this on Windows. You have to be on Linux because it requires the use of a Linux tool to do it. Uh, Actually, no. You should be able to output it on uh, Windows too. I don't know why that's being weird, but I'll fix that too. But yeah, here we go. Uh, oh no, no, it did work. Yeah, this is the Linux 64-bit output right here. But and you can just go into here and run it. And well, we didn't pause the screen, so we'll run it from the command line. Yeah. So yeah, that's basics of RCBasic Studio, and I will now make another cut. Well, actually, let's go to close this. Go to the Geany website, and I'm going to hit download Geany. uh, Windows. And if this is going to take a while to install, I'll cut. But if it seems like it's going really fast, I'll just go right through because I hate doing a whole lot of editing. But yeah, it looks like it's going pretty quick. Oh. All right. And now that that's done, you need to run Geany at least once. So just click run, let Geany run. Uh, and now that Geany's ran, we're going to close this. And now we're going to set RCBasic up to work with Geany. So let's close this. Alright, so we're back in the RCBasic stuff. And we are going into the RCBasic folder and Geany files. And this file is basically for all the syntax stuff for RCBasic, which I continue to provide with each version. Um, and we're going to, like right now, the best way to do this is we're going to override the free basic version with the RCBasic one for Geany syntaxing. So let's change this to file types.freebasic. Gonna copy, or I guess you could cut it if you want. And we're going to go into our home folder. So like users, I'm on the shadow PC. So, and we're going to unhide the hidden folders, which I forgot how to do. Uh, Hidden items, yeah. So, going to go into app data. I think it is local. Um, no, it is not local. Uh, Roaming. Geany. Yeah. So, and file defs. And right here, we're going to paste our file that we just did. Now, we're going to open up Geany again. And we're going to open up a .bas file. You're not going to be able to work with RCBasic Studio projects here, but you'll just be able to use like the .bas files and stuff. So let's go to our test file that we made. And now you see we have the syntax highlighting, although print isn't highlighted. That's weird. But we should be able to go to, we have our, if you have distribute your program and execute here, that means the RCBasic stuff set up. But we do need to configure some extra stuff. So let's go to set build commands. And all this stuff here, where you see this RCBasic bin, we basically want to put the folder where that RCBasic build and RCBasic .exe files are. So let's go into the RCBasic folder. So we're in our release folder where Studio is, and we're going into the RCBasic folder. And then we're gonna, just go to RCBasic 64. And there's RCBasic build and RCBasic run in here. We want to set it to the path where these folders, well, to basically this folder. So we're going to copy this folder path. Um, Sorry. Go up here, copy this folder path, and now go back here, and I'm going to paste it here where that like replace the RCBasic bin in the square brackets with this. So paste, and I'm going to do that here and paste. And I'm going to do that, yeah, in these two lines as well. And And then this RC Basic Home is where the tools folder is located at. So if we go out of here, and then like the tools folder is right here. So we're just gonna copy this directory and paste that here. Make sure you don't delete the quotation marks or anything, just the square brackets and stuff. So paste, and I think, yeah, that should be it. So now we hit OK, and now we should just have, um, we should have, I mean, we have our syntax highlighting, which isn't great right now, probably because the theme sucks. But now you should be able to go up to build and compile, and then go to build and execute to run your program. And that's how you would set it up in Geany. You also have all your, I mean, your syntax highlighting should be working, but uh, Geany also like has the symbol browser just like RCBasic Studio does, but like a difference between Geany and RCBasic Studio. So we have a variable here called x equal, equal to 4. You notice it's not popping up in a symbol browser. To make it pop up in a symbol browser, you have to do dim, and you have to do dim for every variable you want to pop up in there. RC Basic Studio, though, I'm going to show this real quick. Let's go open up RC Basic Studio again, and we'll open up the project. And let's go to symbol browser so I can show this. In RC Basic Studio, you can do it with dim, so you can do dim x, and oh wait, I turned off the parser. Let me turn this back on. So I'm going to turn those back on and close, and then reopen it. And so now that make sure the parser is turned on before you try this. So like dim x, and we see that in variables we have x now. But we could also just, like, instead of doing dim, we could just do y equals 5, and you see it pops up there with either one. So RC Basic Studio basically just has a better parser for the symbol browser than Geany does. But if you like Geany better, you're more than welcome to use it. You can also just set up RC Basic to work with any text editor of your choice. You just need to um, add like, this is the compiler, RCBasic underscore build, and then this is what's used to run your programs. And the last thing is showing what your program is. So like I mentioned the CBC files earlier. That CBC file right here is your compiled program. It's like CBC is short for compiled basic program. Uh, so we can run this, like, you don't need your source code anymore. You can run this without your source code because this is your program right here. And so we'll just drag this on our RC Basic to see this run. Running. Well, and to get it to stay open, you can do on Windows this system. This only works on Windows though. Yeah, you can do that, and then uh, build. Make sure it built. Yeah. So, and then after that, it should stay open now if we try to just drag it onto RCBasic to run it. Yeah. And that's basically everything you need to know about setting up RCBasic on Windows. Leave a question in the comments or post on the forum, which will be linked in the description, if you have any more questions. But other than that, I'm out.